The biggest question entering Indianapolis, it's always the quarterbacks. We just talked about some established guys. Who are the newbies? Who are we watching? 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks. Bryce Young. Let's hear it, Rick.
I think that's also going to be the talk of the combine is just, again, quarterback dictated draft. We're back into 4 quarterbacks now being in that first round conversation. And so to me, we saw it last year, the hand size with Kenny Pickett. He opted not to have his hands measured at the combine last year. He said he was doing some thumb exercises and teams could wait till the pro day. Well, I think Bryce Young, that is going to be the big question. What is his height? What is his weight? You see some nonsense floating around on Twitter that this guy played close to 160 pounds. He's listed on the school site, I think, at 185, Mike. I can tell you this. Last time scouts went in there, which was last spring, he measured at 5'11", 7/8 inches, so just a shade under 6 feet tall. And to our reports, he was 197 pounds. I'm hearing that he's going to tip the scales at right around 200 pounds, which would be about 20 pounds lighter than a Kyler Murray. So when you talk about these smaller quarterbacks and these exceptions to the rule, I think Bryce Young is the exception to the rule.
How possible, Rick, in your mind, are we looking at a 1, 2, 3 quarterback draft? We get trades, obviously, that can make this thing. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, even Anthony Richardson's name has been mentioned as a possibility. But how possible is that we see 3 quarterbacks go right off the board or even in the top 5?
No, I do think there will be some moving and shaking. I think Chicago will look to trade down. I think Houston at number 2 is a contender to even trade up a spot. The Colts at number 4 will be looking to deal up. And so you could see a scenario, again, this week, AR-44, Anthony Richardson is built for the combine. If you want to talk about a quarterback creating a buzz for himself, there are some mock drafts out there from mainstream media that has AR-44 as the number 1 overall pick. Some people have Bryce Young as the number 1 overall pick. Others have C.J. Stroud. Believe it or not, there's a belief that Will Levis could be the number 1 overall pick. So here we are 2 months away from the NFL draft, and Indianapolis might help dictate who's going to be that 1, 2, and 3 scenario that we might see.
All right, I want to throw a challenge flag in here because what's up with Chicago Fields? I mean, do they think it's the smart move to move him, restart the contract clock? I mean, what's the thought if you're Chicago? Because you just said there's 3 or 4 quarterbacks to choose from. Look, if I'm Chicago, I got to get off the wheel, man. At some point, I got to start running forward. I got to get off this wheel. But I understand getting the contract to control longer years. But at what point do you want to win, and what year do you want to keep playing? Let's make a deal. What's behind door number 3, man? That game has to be over. Game show. They only have a life expectancy of so long.
Sometimes you get made an offer you just can't refuse, Mike. I mean, look at what Trey Lance commanded. Look at what Carson Wentz took to trade up for it. Look at what teams gave up to get a Kyler Murray. I mean, you are probably going to get 3 first-round picks if you're the Chicago Bears and trade down out of that spot. So I understand the allure. Now, remember, Ryan Poles inherited Justin Fields. That wasn't his guy. And I'll tell you what, he was not exactly incognito making the rounds up in the press boxes, scouting just about every potential first-round quarterback throughout the college football regular season. Typically, you see GMs who do that are in the market for a quarterback. Now, outside of Ryan Poles, I'm not sure that there's anybody else who believes the Bears need a franchise quarterback. I think they found that guy. If I'm Ryan Poles, am I looking to trade back? Sure. But I'm looking to surround Justin Fields with the most weapons I can, because he'll be year 3 into the program.
This is like the XFL. I get to challenge everything. Did you have Fields ranked higher than Bryce Young, Will Levis? When you were doing your research for that draft, did you have Fields as a better prospect than these 3 guys?
Justin Fields would have been number 1 quarterback in this year's draft, absolutely, without a doubt. And I think that's because he's got better size. He's got better elusiveness. I believe that Justin Fields, despite some of the rumors out there that he can't throw the ball downfield, I think he can make all the throws, but he's just got to be harnessed and reeled in a little bit. To me, Bryce Young is a guy you've got to wonder about those durability concerns, because even a Justin Fields, even a Jalen Hurts, even a Kyler Murray, who are built, right, even more thick than Bryce Young, they can't stay healthy through a 17 plus game season. So I think there's a legitimate concern with Bryce Young. I know what I got in Justin Fields. I've eliminated the guesswork. All these other quarterbacks, I mean, they're guesses as far as we're concerned.